Have you ever wondered why some women have an almost hypnotic effect on men? Why do certain women effortlessly hold a man's attention, making him crave their presence, their touch, their energy? It's not just about beauty. It's not about being the most charming or the most intelligent. There's something deeper at play, something that makes a man not just attracted, but addicted. This is the secret power of feminine energy. And if you master it, you'll never chase love again. You'll become the kind of woman who naturally draws men in, effortlessly making them want to be around you, to win your heart, to keep you in their lives. But here's the truth. This power isn't something you do. It's something you embody. It's about how you carry yourself, how you move through the world, and how you make a man feel when he's around you. In this video, we're uncovering 3 powerful feminine habits that make men feel an undeniable pull towards you. These habits tap into a man's deepest psychological triggers, making him feel a connection so strong he won't be able to walk away, even if he tried. And the best part? These habits have nothing to do with manipulation or playing games. They are rooted in authenticity, in true feminine strength. Most women don't realize that men are drawn to something beyond physical attraction. They assume men fall for looks, for a pretty face, or a perfect body. But that's only part of the equation. What keeps a man hooked? What makes him think about you when you're not around? What makes him feel like he can't get enough of you? That's something entirely different. It's an energy, a presence, a way of being that awakens something primal inside him. So if you've ever struggled to keep a man's interest, if you've ever felt like, no matter how much effort you put in, the men you want always pull away. If you're tired of feeling like love is a game where you're always on the losing side, this is for you. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what it takes to make a man addicted to you. Not by changing who you are, but by unlocking the feminine energy already within you. Stay with me, because once you understand these 3 habits, you'll never see attraction the same way again. Attraction is not just about chemistry. It's not just about looks, charm, or the right words. It's about energy. It's about the way a person makes you feel when they're around you. And for a man, that feeling is everything. He may not even realize it, but deep inside, his emotions are being guided by invisible forces. Forces that dictate whether he sees a woman as just another passing moment or as someone he can't stop thinking about. At the core of this irresistible pull is something powerful, feminine energy. The way a woman moves, the way she speaks, the way she carries herself. All of it sends subconscious signals that trigger desire, admiration, and even obsession. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. It's the reason some women effortlessly captivate a room, while others struggle to hold a man's attention for more than a few days. You see, men are drawn to contrast. Masculine energy is strong, direct, and focused. It's built to lead, to conquer, to pursue. But for that energy to feel alive, it craves something complementary. It craves softness, mystery, warmth, the kind of presence that awakens something primal inside. This is why a woman who fully embraces her femininity without apology becomes unforgettable. She isn't competing. She isn't proving herself. She simply exists in a way that makes a man feel something he can't quite explain, but he knows he doesn't want to lose it. But here's where most women get it wrong. They believe that attraction is built through effort. They try harder, they give more, they overcompensate, thinking that the more they do, the more a man will love them. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Attraction isn't built through effort, it's built through presence. A man doesn't fall for a woman because she does everything for him. He falls because of how he feels in her presence, how her energy draws him in, how she challenges him in just the right way, how she makes him feel like he's earned something truly rare. This is why men don't become addicted to women who chase them. They become addicted to women who create space for desire, women who leave room for a man to wonder, to pursue, to feel the thrill of earning their attention. Not because they play games, but because they naturally hold their own value. They don't need to chase. They don't need to beg for love. They embody it. And when a man senses this kind of energy, everything changes. He starts to feel something different, something deeper. He feels the pull, the intrigue, the unshakable desire to be around her, to understand her, to experience more of her essence. He starts thinking about her when she's not around. He starts wondering what she's doing, who she's with, what she's thinking. Not because she's playing hard to get, but because she carries herself in a way that naturally commands his attention. This is the foundation of addiction. Not through manipulation, not through trying harder, but through understanding how attraction truly works. When a woman stops trying to convince a man to stay and instead focuses on embodying her true feminine essence, everything shifts. She no longer worries about whether he likes her. She knows she is worth liking. She no longer overgives, hoping for validation. She knows her presence alone is a gift. She no longer fears losing a man because she understands that a man who truly desires her will never need to be convinced to stay. Attraction is energy. And when you understand this, you stop chasing love and start attracting it effortlessly. Because the truth is, the most irresistible women in the world are not the ones who try the hardest. They are the ones who know their worth, embrace their energy, and allow men to feel the power of their presence. And this is where the true secret begins. Understanding the 3 key feminine habits that make men not just interested, but addicted. The first one? It's something most women overlook, but it's one of the most powerful forces of attraction in the world. It's the art of mystery. Nothing captures a man's mind more than mystery. It ignites curiosity, sparks desire, and keeps him coming back for more. She lingers in his thoughts long after she's gone, making him crave the feeling of discovering her. Layer by layer, most women make the mistake of thinking that to build attraction, they need to reveal everything at once. They overshare, they overexplain, they try too hard to prove their worth. But what they don't realize is that men are wired to chase, to uncover, to feel like they are peeling back the layers of something rare and valuable. When everything is given too easily, the excitement fades. Mystery is not about playing games. It's not about being distant or unavailable. It's about creating a sense of depth, about showing just enough to intrigue while holding back enough to keep him wanting more. It's about leaving space for curiosity, for imagination, for the thrill of wondering what's beneath the surface. Think about the moments that stick in your mind the most, the conversations that left you wanting more, the people who fascinated you, not because they were loud or flashy, but because there was something about them you couldn't quite figure out. That's the power of mystery. It creates an invisible pull, making a man invest more energy, more thought, more emotion into understanding you. A woman who masters this habit doesn't seek validation by oversharing. She doesn't feel the need to prove her worth through constant reassurance. She understands that her presence alone is enough. She gives just enough to be engaging, but never so much that the intrigue is lost. When a man asks about her life, she doesn't dump her entire past on him in one conversation. Instead, she shares stories with depth, with emotion, but always leaves a little more to be discovered. She doesn't always reply instantly. Not because she's playing games, but because she has a life she's genuinely invested in. She speaks with intention, with meaning, making every interaction feel valuable. Mystery also means unpredictability. A woman who is too predictable, too easy to figure out, loses her magic. But a woman who keeps things fresh, who isn't afraid to be playful, who occasionally surprises a man, she keeps him engaged. She makes him feel like there's always something new to discover about her. And that feeling, that's what keeps him addicted. But here's the secret. Mystery isn't just about words. It's in the way you carry yourself. It's in the way you look at him, the way you smile, the way you pause before you speak. It's in your energy, your presence, the way you make him feel like he's experiencing something rare, something he doesn't want to lose. The women who are the most unforgettable are the ones who understand that less is more. That silence can be just as powerful as words. That an unanswered question can linger in a man's mind far longer than a complete explanation. This is the kind of woman who isn't easily replaced. The kind of woman who keeps a man up at night replaying conversations in his mind, wondering what she's thinking, craving more of her energy. Because for a man, the pursuit of something rare, something not easily understood, is the very thing that makes him value it more. This is what makes a man addicted, not just to the idea of you, but to the experience of being around you. What keeps a man thinking about you long after you're gone? What makes him replay conversations in his mind, wondering what you meant, craving more of your presence? The answer is simple: the unknown, the unanswered. The feeling that there's always something more to discover. Mystery isn't just attractive, it's addictive. It activates the part of the brain that craves excitement, that thrives on the unknown. Studies show that people value things they have to work for. When something is too easy, too predictable, it loses its appeal. But when there's a challenge, when there's an element of unpredictability, the brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for pleasure and addiction. This is why a woman who holds an air of mystery naturally captivates a man. She makes him feel like every interaction is a new experience. She's not just another person in his life. She's a puzzle, an adventure, a discovery waiting to unfold. And that's what makes him keep coming back. But here's what most people get wrong. Mystery is not about being distant or playing hard to get. It's not about ignoring texts or pretending to be unavailable. That kind of behavior only creates frustration, not attraction. True mystery is about depth. It's about revealing just enough to spark interest, but never so much that the excitement fades. Think of a book that you can't put down, a movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat, a song that lingers in your mind long after it's over. The reason they captivate you is because they don't give everything away at once. They build anticipation. They make you want more. A woman who understands this doesn't rush to fill silence with words. She doesn't feel the need to explain every detail of her life in one conversation. She speaks with intention, leaving space for curiosity. When she shares something about herself, she does it with depth, with meaning, making the moment feel special. She doesn't reveal everything at once because she knows that true connection is built over time. She allows a man to invest in her, to earn her trust, to uncover the layers of who she is. This makes him feel like he's discovering something rare, something valuable, something he doesn't want to lose. Mystery also lies in unpredictability. When a woman is too predictable, too easy to figure out, she becomes routine. But when she keeps things fresh, when she's spontaneous, when she surprises a man with her thoughts, her actions, her energy, she keeps him engaged. She makes him feel like every moment with her is an experience, something he can't find anywhere else. This is what creates addiction. The feeling that with her, life is never boring. That with her, there's always something new to feel, to explore, to understand. But here's the secret. Mystery isn't just about what you say or do, it's in the way you carry yourself. The way you make eye contact, the way you pause before you speak, the way you let a moment linger just long enough to create anticipation. It's in your confidence, in the way you own your presence, in the way you make a man feel like he has to work to understand you. Because anything that is easily attained is easily forgotten. But something that takes time, effort, and emotional investment, that's what becomes irreplaceable. When a man feels like he's constantly discovering new layers of you, when he feels like he's earning a deeper connection, he won't just be interested, he'll be addicted. Because you're not just giving him attention, you're giving him an experience, and that's something he'll chase forever. Too much mystery, and a man may feel like he's chasing a shadow, intrigued but never truly connected. Too much openness, and the spark of curiosity dies before it even has a chance to grow. The real magic happens in the balance between the two. A woman who masters this balance knows when to share and when to hold back. She understands that connection is not about revealing every detail of her life, but about creating meaningful moments. She gives just enough to build trust, to make a man feel like he is getting closer to her, but never so much that he takes her presence for granted. She doesn't rush to fill silences with words. She allows space for intrigue, for wonder. She shares glimpses of her thoughts, her passions, her experiences, but she leaves room for curiosity. She makes a man feel like he's peeling back the layers of a story, one chapter at a time, rather than being handed the entire book all at once. Openness is powerful when used with intention. It's what builds emotional depth, what allows two people to connect on a level beyond attraction. But openness without boundaries can feel overwhelming, even suffocating. When everything is laid out too soon, there's no room for anticipation, no sense of earning trust, no journey of discovery. A woman who understands this does not overshare out of insecurity. She doesn't rush to prove herself or seek validation through constant communication. Instead, she speaks with purpose. She reveals parts of herself naturally, in moments that feel right, in ways that create depth rather than draining the mystery. She also knows that true openness isn't about words alone. It's about presence. The way she listens, the way she responds, the way she makes a man feel understood without revealing too much about herself all at once. She lets connection build organically, allowing a man to invest in her to prove his own depth before she gives him access to hers. This is what makes a woman unforgettable. She is not a puzzle to be solved, nor an open book to be read in one sitting. She is a journey, one that keeps unfolding, keeps surprising, keeps drawing a man in with every step. And that is the key. Not Jew. There is nothing more magnetic than a woman who knows her worth. A woman who carries herself with quiet confidence, who walks into a room and commands attention. Not because she demands it, but because she radiates it. This kind of confidence isn't about arrogance or superiority. It's about self-respect. And that is something men can feel instantly. A confident woman does not chase approval. She does not seek validation from others because she validates herself. She knows that her presence is valuable, and because of that, she never begs for anyone's time, attention, or love. She attracts, she does not chase. And in that attraction, she creates an energy that men find irresistible. Men are naturally drawn to women who have standards, women who do not settle for less than they deserve. Because when a woman respects herself, it forces a man to respect her as well. He sees that she is not someone who will tolerate inconsistency, half-hearted effort, or empty promises. She is a woman of value, and value is something that men instinctively want to win. But self-respect is not just about what you say, it's about what you tolerate. The way you allow others to treat you is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. A woman who lets a man walk over her, who accepts disrespect, who ignores red flags just to keep someone around, she teaches him that she does not value herself enough to walk away. And if she does not value herself, why would he? The truth is, men admire women who can set boundaries. A woman who can say no without guilt. A woman who knows that walking away from something that does not serve her is not a loss but a win. A woman who does not fear being alone because she understands that loneliness is not the absence of a man, it's the absence of self-worth. Confidence is also about how you carry yourself. It's in your posture, your tone, your energy. A woman who moves with grace, who speaks with certainty, who smiles with ease, she becomes unforgettable. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. She does not apologize for her standards. She does not lower herself to be liked. And that confidence? It creates attraction in the deepest way possible. It makes a man see her as a challenge, as a prize, as someone he must step up for. Because a confident woman does not settle, and that makes her rare. But here's the most important part. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out. True confidence is knowing that you are worthy, even in your imperfections. It's standing tall, even on the days when you feel small. It's understanding that your value does not decrease because someone else fails to see it. This is what makes a woman stand out. This is what makes a man see her, truly see her, and feel the deep pull toward her. Because she is not just another woman. She is a woman who knows herself. And that is the most addictive thing in the world. Saint to attraction, but to lasting desire. Confidence is not just attractive, it's intoxicating. A man may be drawn to a woman's looks, but it's her energy that keeps him hooked. And nothing creates a stronger pull than a woman who moves through life with certainty, purpose, and self-respect. A confident woman doesn't just enter a man's life. She elevates it. She sets a new standard. She challenges him to rise. She doesn't settle for half-hearted effort, and because of that, she inspires him to give more, to be more. When a woman respects herself, it forces a man to ask himself, am I good enough to be in her life? That question alone creates a shift in a man's mind. It triggers a sense of urgency, of wanting to prove himself, not because she demands it, but because her energy naturally calls for it. A woman who carries herself with confidence never has to beg for attention. She commands it without saying a word. But here's where most women go wrong. They confuse confidence with control. They believe that to be desirable, they must dominate, always take the lead, never show vulnerability. But real confidence is not about overpowering a man. It's about standing strong in your own presence and allowing him to step up. A confident woman does not chase. She does not wait by the phone, analyzing every message, wondering if she is enough. She lives her life fully, knowing that the right man will recognize her value. And when a man feels that energy, he doesn't want to risk losing it. Scarcity creates value. People naturally want what feels rare, what feels earned. A woman who is too available, who bends over backward to prove her worth, loses her power. But a woman who knows she is valuable, regardless of who sees it, that is a woman who becomes unforgettable. She does not settle for breadcrumbs. If a man offers inconsistency, she does not complain. She simply removes herself. She does not explain why she deserves more. She already knows she does. And this alone forces a man to think, to reflect, to ask himself why he wasn't willing to give more. Confidence is also about emotional stability. A woman who is at peace with herself creates peace in a man's life. She does not overreact to small things, does not create unnecessary drama. She chooses her battles wisely, knowing that her energy is too precious to be wasted on proving points that don't matter. Men are drawn to this. They crave a woman who is grounded, who can handle life with grace. Because deep down, every man wants a partner who brings a sense of calm into his world, not chaos. And that is why confidence is so powerful. It is not just about how a woman looks. It's about how she makes him feel. A confident woman makes a man feel inspired, challenged, and valued. She makes him want to be a better man, not because she asks, but because she is a better woman. That is the kind of woman a man never forgets, the kind of woman he will fight to keep. People do not chase what is easily available. They chase what feels rare, what feels valuable, what feels like it must be earned. This is not a game, it's human nature. The mind naturally assigns more worth to something that seems exclusive, something that is not freely given to just anyone. A woman who understands this does not feel the need to overextend herself. She does not give away her energy to people who do not prove they deserve it. She does not settle for inconsistency or tolerate half-hearted effort. Not because she is playing hard to get, but because she is hard to get. And that makes all the difference. Scarcity creates urgency. When something seems abundant, it is taken for granted. But when something feels like it could slip away, it becomes a priority. Men are wired for challenge. They don't just want to obtain, they want to earn. A woman who makes her presence feel like a privilege, not through arrogance, but through self-respect, becomes the one he can't stop thinking about. She does not demand better treatment. She simply walks away from anything that does not meet her standard. And that simple act alone is what makes a man reconsider everything. It forces him to reflect. What if I lose her? What if I never find someone like her again? That moment of realization shifts everything. Because when a man sees that a woman is willing to walk away rather than beg to be chosen, she instantly becomes more valuable in his mind. He begins to see her as someone he cannot afford to lose. But here's where many women go wrong. They think pulling away means ignoring him, playing mind games, or making him jealous. That is manipulation, and men can sense. True scarcity is not about proving anything. It's about genuinely valuing yourself, enough to not overstay where you are not fully appreciated. It is about being the kind of woman who is always sought after, never just an option. The kind of woman who, when she pulls back, does so not to punish, but because she has a life so rich, so full, that she is not dependent on his validation. And this is where the addiction begins. The moment a man realizes he cannot take her for granted, the moment he understands that she does not need him, but she chooses him. That is the ultimate power. Because a woman who needs nothing from a man instantly becomes the woman he wants to give everything to. Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is not about arrogance, nor is it about seeking constant attention. True confidence is silent but undeniable. It is the energy that turns heads before a word is even spoken. It is the presence that lingers in a man's mind long after you've left the room. A woman who radiates confidence does not need to prove her worth. She knows her worth. And that quiet certainty is what draws people in. She does not chase. She does not over-explain. She does not ask for validation because she already validates herself. Confidence is communicated in 1,000 ways through body language, tone, eye contact, and the way you carry yourself. It is in the way you walk with poise and purpose, as if you belong wherever you go. It is in the way you speak, calmly and clearly, without rushing to fill silence. It is in the way you maintain eye contact, not in a way that challenges, but in a way that says, I see you, and I know you see me. And here's the secret. Men feel confidence before they recognize it. It is an unspoken force that signals, I am a woman of value, and I do not settle. This energy alone separates you from the rest. But confidence is not just external, it is built from within. It comes from knowing that you are enough, with or without a man's attention. It comes from understanding that love is a beautiful addition to life, but it is not your sole purpose. The most irresistible women are the ones who have passions, who have a sense of purpose beyond relationships, who do not put their lives on hold while waiting for someone to choose them. And the moment you start living like this, fully, unapologetically, and with deep self-respect, everything changes. Men are drawn to women who seem to be moving forward, who have something exciting about them, who radiate a kind of magnetic energy that makes them want to keep up. This is why confidence is so addictive. It is not just about how you look, and a confident woman makes a man feel like he is in the presence of someone truly special. But confidence is also tested. There will be moments when you feel uncertain, when the world makes you question your worth. And in those moments, you must remind yourself, confidence is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to move forward despite it. A woman who holds herself with confidence does not need a man to choose her. She chooses herself first. And that, more than anything else, makes her unforgettable. Behind every great connection, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or a deep bond, there is one foundational element that makes it unshakable: emotional safety. This is the rarest, most powerful habit a woman can embody, because it speaks directly to a man's deepest need. The need to feel understood, to feel accepted for who he is without judgment or rejection. A man may appear strong on the outside, but underneath, he has the same emotional vulnerability as anyone else. He, too, experiences fear, doubt, frustration, and the need to be seen as more than just his achievements. Yet, the world often demands that men suppress their emotions, leaving them feeling isolated, misunderstood, and disconnected. This is where the magic happens. A woman who offers emotional safety becomes his sanctuary. She becomes the place where he can drop the armor, let down the walls, and simply be. She creates a space where he does not need to hide his feelings, where he is not afraid of being judged or criticized. When you offer a man emotional safety, you are giving him the gift of vulnerability. You are creating an environment where he knows he can share his fears, his insecurities, his doubts, and his dreams, without the fear of being dismissed or ridiculed. And this is where deep attachment begins. The more emotionally safe you make him feel, the deeper his connection to you grows. When he can open up without hesitation, he experiences a bond unlike any other. You become his refuge, the one person he feels truly seen and understood by. In return, he will start to crave that connection. His need to be near you will evolve into something deeper, more emotional, and ultimately, more addictive. But emotional safety doesn't just come from words. It comes from your actions, your listening, and your response. It's in the way you create space for him to express himself without interrupting or immediately trying to fix things. It's in the way you listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. It's in the way you reassure him that his feelings matter, that his fears are valid, and that his vulnerability will never be used against him. This level of emotional security is not something that can be faked. It requires patience, empathy, and the ability to give without expecting immediate rewards. It means you are willing to invest in the relationship, not just in the moments of joy, but in the moments of struggle and uncertainty as well. When a man feels emotionally safe, he begins to trust you on a level that goes far beyond surface attraction. He begins to see you not just as someone to date, but as someone who understands him in a way no one else does. This emotional connection becomes so powerful that it surpasses mere attraction. It becomes attachment. And attachment is one of the most powerful forces in human relationships. When a man is attached to you emotionally, he will want to stay. He will want to protect that bond. He will want to nurture it and see it grow. And this is what makes emotional safety the secret weapon in creating lasting attraction. But it's important to understand that emotional safety doesn't mean taking on the role of a therapist or a fixer. It doesn't mean solving his problems for him or constantly giving him advice. It means being there with open arms and a non-judgmental heart, willing to listen and support him as he navigates his own emotions. It means allowing him to process his feelings without feeling the pressure to do something about them. A woman who offers emotional safety isn't afraid of raw emotion. She welcomes it. She doesn't shy away from the depth of a man's soul, even if it feels uncomfortable or messy. She understands that real connection is built on a foundation of trust and vulnerability, not on perfection.